What is up guys, Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'm very excited to be doing the first ever Chaos Galaxy deck profile on my channel. And basically I've wanted to do a deck profile on this channel for absolutely ages, but I haven't really had enough cards based around one planet to kind of consciously choose a set of cards that make a full-on strategy. So for example, before I released the starter decks, there were only kind of 10 or so cards based around the planet Sheos, so I'd have had to fill up a deck with other random cards that wouldn't really work as part of a strategy. But now I think I've made enough cards to have a kind of full-on competitive Sheos deck, which is really cool. So I'm going to be showing you the deck I've made today. It will be based around the Sheosian Lava Beasts, which were released in the Infernos of Sheos Starter Galaxy. However, I've combined them with a lot of the cards from set 1 to try and make the strongest Sheos-based galaxy I can make. And in the next video, I'm going to be showing you my Patrilius deck list, and then I'll be having a battle against these two decks to see which planet is the strongest overall out of every card I've released. Also, if you don't know how the planet Sheos works, there'll be a link in the description below to an introduction to the whole planet, but basically, very quickly, the cards in it are very offensive and they generally have very high power and low health, and they're just focused on attacking your opponent all at once and winning through sheer power. So, I'll start off by showing you the creatures. So, starting off with 2 copies of Sheosian Lava Behemoth. He's the absolute boss of the deck. He's got 490 power and the ability to remove your opponent's resource zones. Next up, for the kind of secondary boss creature, I've got 2 copies of Meltalon. This card has probably won more games on this channel than any other card. It's such a strong creature for only 6 stars, and although it has a negative ability, there are ways to get rid of that or even use them to your advantage. Next up, I'll go to the Sheosian Lava creatures. I've got 2 copies of Bat. He's probably the best one. He can just bring back your killed Sheosian Lava creatures, and he's got 160 power, which means he just goes over that tipping point of getting you 2 points for an attack. I've then got 2 copies of Crab. I was thinking about using 1, but I don't have many creatures in this galaxy with a low amount of stars, so if you're running low on stars, Crab is really useful, and he has the potential for his power to become absolutely insane. Then 2 copies of Panther. Panther I didn't think would be that good when I made him, but actually using him in battles is absolutely fantastic. Although you have to kill a card on your planet when he attacks, that isn't always a bad thing, and with 280 power he can really do some damage. And then the final Sheosian Lava creature is Sheosian Lava Crocodile. I'm only using 1 copy of him because I think Panther is kind of like a better alternative, and 5 stars can make him a bit awkward to play, but nonetheless 260 power and the ability to get rid of attachment cards does come in handy. Next up, I've just got some generic kind of 4-star creatures from the planet Sheos to help with the power. We've got Pyraknight, he's got the highest power of any 4-star creature, and then Manflaki as well, who's got 150 health and still gets you 3 points for an attack. Next up, I've got 2 copies of Sparki, because apart from him, I don't really have many low-star creatures, so Sparki can just help out with that. And he also helps me play my 1 copy of Elite Sparki, which I'm using in this galaxy as well. And the final creature I've got is a Foople Flame. Again, he's got low stars, also he works really well in conjunction with the planet Sheos to help you draw through your deck quicker. And that's it for the creatures. I'm using 1 combiner as well, which is the Blattaclypse card. Really strong all-round power and health, which is something that not a lot of Sheos creatures have. And now I'll get onto the resource cards. I've got 2 copies of Sheosian Lava and Coal. This card's fantastic. It stops Panther's ability killing itself. It boosts up the health of all your Sheosian Lava creatures anyway, and just all-round helps the overall strategy of the galaxy. So 2 copies of that is pretty crucial, I think. I've then got 1 copy of Sheosian Lava Targets. I don't really like this card that much because it doesn't really give you any advantage over your opponent. All it does is just sets up a target for your Sheosian Lava creatures to attack, and you can then get their abilities off, but it's quite situational, so it doesn't always work. I'm then using 1 copy of Bullwarder to protect those weaker creatures like Crab or Bat if you're waiting to get their abilities off. And then the Upside Down Realm, 1 copy of that for the final permanent resource card, and you guys all know why I'm using this. It's for Meltalon. It makes him pretty much unstoppable. So that's it for the permanent resource cards. Then for the single-use resource cards, I've got 1 copy of Firebolt to give me some points for my Sheos creatures. 1 Universe Boundary. You kill any Sheosian Lava creature in your galaxy and then just bring it back straight away with Bat. 1 copy of Cosmic Treasure. Then got 1 copy of Bow-Eyed Comet to get rid of permanent resource cards. And then 1 copy of Galaxy Crash to round things off, because it is probably the most powerful card in the game. Not the best, but the most powerful. Okay, and then for the attachment cards, I've got one copy of Death Talisman Patrilius. This card was absolutely amazing in these straight up starter deck battles, so hopefully it'll prove to be just as amazing in the next video. One copy of Blaze Elixir. You attach this to Manflaki, Sheosian Lava Panther, or your Pyraknight, and you're getting up to 6 points per turn from a 4-star card, which is unreal. Or you can attach it to Crab and get his power up to a potential 400 in a turn. So Blaze Elixir is absolutely nuts, and I'm considering putting in a second copy. I'm using one copy of Eternity Amulet. Because the planet is so offensive, you're going to be attacking all the time, so Eternity Amulet can make use of that. And then one copy of Phantom Matter, because it's one of the best attachment cards in the game, in my opinion, and it can just bring back those strong Patrilius creatures that your opponent will be using, like Zeta Rays, or even potentially a Cranchon. Then the final card I'm using is one copy of Firewall, because it's the only real activator I've made for the game that can work with the planet Sheos, and it just protects those creatures with low health from attacks. And then obviously the final card I'm using for this galaxy is the planet card, and you know, there's only one I can really use for this. It's of course the planet Roku, the planet Sheos. So guys, let me know what you think of this galaxy. I haven't actually done the battle video yet, so if there are any changes you think I should make, then leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try and make this galaxy as strong as it can possibly be for the battle. Apart from that, there's not much else, but predict who's going to win in the comment section below. Actually, I'll be posting the Patrilius deck profile in the next day or so, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, get hold of one of the Infernos of Sheos starter galaxies if you haven't already. I'll see you guys very soon for the Patrilius deck profile. Bye.